Hi, welcome to Sana, Counselling and Psychotherapy Services. I'm continuing with my talks on couples and how we interact, especially during lockdown. Have you been having more rows? Has there been more conflict? We looked at warm fuzzies and how you can give out positive strokes and make your partner feel good, and also how you can keep your own positive strokes when given them. We've also looked at love languages. What makes you feel loved? What makes your partner feel loved? Are they the same? And today I want to look at conflict. In my line of work, I've come across two types of people during an argument. You get the bull, or you get the porcupine, or the rhinoceros and hedgehog, or however you want to call it. The bull, in my opinion, saves up all the anger, and it all comes out in shouting and noise and displays of anger, be that throwing something, but it's not. Imagine a bull charging through a field. It's that kind of noise and anger. The porcupine or hedgehog does something completely different. In an argument, if you're a hedgehog or a porcupine, you'll roll up into a ball. Your defence mechanisms will come up. And you won't charge, you won't attack, but what you will do is you will throw the odd spine, which is why I call it a porcupine, because hedgehogs don't throw spines. But you will throw the odd spine, the odd nasty word, the odd crippling statement. So what happens during this time? And can you identify which one you are? Cartman talks about the drama triangle. And this followed on from Eric Burns, the games people play. In a game, there are certain components. One is what's known as a switch, where you change your position. There are three positions: the persecutor, the rescuer, and the victim. Now, hands up, I'm a big rescuer. You know, if anybody needs a hand, I'm in there. And that's fine if you're asked for help. If you're not asked for help, what you're actually saying is, I'm better than you and I can do this. Let me show you, or let me do it for you. And once I realised that, I was horrified, because for me, I was doing it from a place of love, genuinely wanting to help whoever was doing something. I didn't think for 1 minute that actually the message it could be sending was that I didn't think they were capable of doing it for themselves. So that's the rescuer. The victim is when you think that everybody and everything is picking on you, or you're being picked on. It's not your fault. Why are they saying this? And then the persecutor is the one that comes in and says, I've told you X number of times, you shouldn't leave your dirty socks on the landing. I'm fed up tidying after you. So there's the persecutor. So we each take a position in the game. And if your partner came in and started shouting at you like that, you would possibly go to victim. Or you may go to rescuer. Oh, I'm really sorry, let me clean that up for you. So let's see if you can identify which position you take. But the point of the game is that it changes. And this is the same in relationships. You may be attracted to victims because you think you can rescue them. So if you are a rescuer, you might need to find somebody who is a victim, who needs you to look after them. And that's great in the relationship until that victim gets fed up with you rescuing and starts persecuting you. And then you're like, oh, what's happened? Hang on, you were underconfident, you couldn't socialise, I came in and I've helped you, I've given you all this. And the persecutor doesn't want it anymore. And suddenly, you're not the rescuer, you're the victim. So this is what happens when we are attracted to people if we're playing games. And I hear it so often. I find somebody new and they are the best thing since sliced bread. And we get so far down the line and then it all changes. And this is the change. when that switch happens within the game, if you always repeat the same patterns, if you always go for the same people without identifying your position on the drama triangle, your relationships usually will end up in a bit of a disaster. So what do? Well, Adrian Lee from The Burn talks about a potency pyramid, where you step into being potent and don't play any of those games. Now that's quite difficult because you've been playing the game for a long time. So let's go back to conflict. When you argue, you will move around these three positions, I can guarantee you. So, okay, here's an example, and I used it in the beginning. My husband takes his socks off, and as you know, my love language is active service, so having socks lying on the landing is not good for me. Now, I could choose to come upstairs and go, oh my goodness, how many times have I told you, don't leave your dirty socks on the landing? And that would start the drama triangle. So how do I deal with it? Well, if you come back tomorrow when I talk about ego states, I'll show you how I handle that and how it ended up being a laugh and some good fun, and how my husband joined in the fun, moved his socks without an angry word.